He claimed how many people, when we were leaving office, we were around 30 million. Today we are 33. Let's say 33. He said it's created jobs for 2.6 million. Then it means that we should have about 400,000 people unemployed, based on your logic. But we have 1.8 million people unemployed. How does that tally? And you think that you are talking to small children. Sometimes I listen to Mr. Bawumia, and truth be told, I feel he's an entire waste of our time. In fact, just 2 days ago, I read news that from January till date, more than 800,000 more people have been pushed down the poverty drains in this country. And the man who is in charge of the economy comes to tell you and I that, look, I have the solutions, but I am so wicked that I won't teach Nanado the solutions. When you vote for me, I would come and implement those solutions. I have never seen a government campaign against itself because it has failed and is now pleading on you to vote for itself again. That failed government to come and lead office. I've never seen that. Look,
Malik Basintale, eko PM, AGH1 TV. So now send me brain, come on me brain so so show. So one of the things they were discussing about the fact Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia claiming say we're creating a year 2.6 million jobs ama Ghanaians. But Malik Basintale actually ama Ghana party as say entro no credit that said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to create a year 2.6 million jobs for Ghanaians because Tama NDC every abayemuno na akanipa 800,000 na unemployed. But and that anymore say 2024 nipa 1.6 million and then adwuma ya na ta unemployed. Enti say what the way etuton so ne ni a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia catch say we creating jobs for a year 2.6 million people no entro in wuta. We ensema Malik Basintale kan and wo chemu say utie nsema Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kana na nsem nyina kire say we total waste of time at the Ghanaians. And so on ma or to absolutely ma what chemu say ye could be wicked palm in the history of Ghana. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia one of them because identity and our policies are what the boy a certain president. I'm media boy or mine no solutions I bet him their mano. I'm their boy mine, but why do say for solutions no mano? What can say or make vote to go into power and sana what me implement ASR policies and I say what me these solutions na aba into way and Malik Basintale agent so HM will say we're one of the wicked people in the history of Ghana. Without wasting my time, Nebusia, video no and I see Malik Basintale TV so. We need to come channel so subscribe, share, no be video nibi and share.
Virtually, we are in a contest with a very hopeless political party, a very hopeless political leadership, and all we've got to do is to bring in a man of hope, is to bring in a man of vision, is to bring in a man who means well for the republic of this country, and put aside, because I mean, what scares me?
You say a hopeless political party and with hopeless leadership. Over the weekend, this party, I believe it's the MPP that you're talking about, led by the presidential candidate who's the current vice president of the country, actually, mounted a podium, got a lot of the youth attending this event, and was talking about what his party has in store for the youth if he's elected into office, and already went on to talk about some of the many things that this government has already done to help the youth in terms of creation of jobs, among other things, digitalization and all of that. And there were quite a number of people who were there who seemed very, very enthusiastic about that message. So they seemed that they had hope. So why do you say the MPP is a hopeless party when clearly there are a lot of people who believe in the message of the MPP?
So quietly listen to the scenario. I beg your pardon. When the NDC was leaving office in 2016, the number of people who were unemployed in this country were barely 800,000. Are you on track? Unemployment under the NDC was 7%. Bawumia claims that they have created 2.6 million jobs. If indeed what Bawumia had said was true, then today we should have been in a negative in unemployment in this country. Which means that we should have even gone outside the country to look for 1.8 more people to come and work for this country. Today, the number of unemployed people stands at 1.6 million to 1.8 million. Raising the bar of unemployment or the percentage to 14.7%. Tally it. Does it make sense? We left the country for you with 800,000 people unemployed. All you needed to do was to create jobs for 800,000 people, and Ghana's unemployment will be 0%. You claim you have created 2.6 million, yet unemployment has jumped from 800,000 to 1.8 million. Then maybe you created employment for ghosts. It doesn't make sense.
Well, but the population is increasing.
When we live in office,
we have a population now of about 33 million, and a lot of people have come, to that age where legally, they can gain employment. So doesn't that add up to?
So do your arithmetic. So it means that all the people who added onto the population went unemployed. He claimed how many people, when we live in office, we're around 30 million. Today we are 33. Let's say 33. He said it's created jobs for 2.6 million. Then it means that we should have about 400,000 people unemployed, based on your logic. But we have 1.8 million people unemployed. How does that tally? And you think that you are talking to small children. Sometimes I listen to Mr. Bawumia, and truth be told, I feel he's an entire waste of our time. Look, yesterday, you said you were going to give the youth policies, job creation policies in Obiso. Lantam, can you mention one thing he said that was going to solve the issue of unemployment in this country? I want one.
Well, he talks about jobs, in the digital space, for example.
How is he going to create it?
Setting up a $100 million fund, which is going to enable a lot of startups, in the fintech space, in the digital space, and all of that, to thrive, making it easy. I mean, that's off the top of my head. One of them I can mention. Is that on a laudable policy?
So that was not possible from 2017. That was not possible in 2018. It wasn't possible in 2019. It wasn't possible in 2020. It wasn't possible in 2021. Till 2024. Now he's telling you and I that it is possible in 2025. How does that add up? There are young men out there who want jobs in the digital space. Why hasn't he created it?
But what's the track record of the NDC in that regard?
I mean,
when John Mahama was president, what's the track record of John Mahama?
We managed,
in the area of employment, and creating jobs.
We managed to close unemployment from 13% to 7% in this country. It's on record. It was under the tenure of John Mahama that we had single digits unemployment in this country, under John Mahama. It was under John Mahama that we had single-digit inflation in this country, under John Mahama. It was under John Mahama that the dollar was changing at single digits, 4 cedi, under John Mahama. Today, if everything is not double, then it's triple in this country, to the extent that debt to GDP rose to 1.104% in this country. It's never been so. To the extent that inflation rose to 58% under this current government. It has never been so. To the extent that unemployment is 14.7% in this country. It's never been so. In fact, just 2 days ago, I read news that from January till date, more than 800,000 more people have been pushed down the poverty drains in this country. And the man who is in charge of the economy comes to tell you and I that, look, I have the solutions, but I am so wicked that I won't teach Nanado the solutions. When you vote for me, I would come and implement those solutions. I have never seen a government campaign against itself because it has failed and is now pleading on you to vote for itself again. That failed government to come and lead office. I've never seen that. Look, in 2012, when President Mahama was campaigning, there was nowhere that he said he wasn't in charge of the economy. Never. He had never. In fact, our motto in 2012, our campaign message, if you remember, was continuing the Better Ghana agenda. You remember? And President Mahama was proud of his record. Why? Because under his leader tenure, he chalked 1 million tons in cocoa production. Why? Because under his tenure, he was exchanging the dollar at 2 Ghana cedis. Why? Because under his tenure, a gallon of petrol used to sell at 8 Ghana cedis under President Mahama. So he was proud of being the head of the economic management team, and he campaigned on the backs of that. Why is Bawumia running away from his record? Why is he suddenly saying, look, and what surprised me yesterday was, and please, if Alhaji Bawumia is listening to me, I wish to advise him. You have a platform. Ghanaian youth are watching you. Tell us what you have for us. You come and stand and say, and John Mahama should also tell us when he was vice president what he did. Was that why they gave you the platform?
But is that not a legitimate question to
when
ask?
President Mahama was speaking at UPSA, telling the youth of this country the policies he had in stock for them, did you hear Bawumia in his speech? Because the unemployed youth of this country do not care whether you talk about Chada, you talk about Lanchamante, you talk about Bawumia. They care about what you have for them.